Good evening. Scott's off tonight, and we start at 6 with the search for a person of interest in connection to the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The FBI now is asking for the public's help. The agency releasing these two photos today, showing a person of interest in the assassination that went down yesterday at Utah Valley University. The FBI is also announcing a $100,000 reward for information that leads to the ID and arrest of the suspect. Just about 2 hours ago, the FBI announced that Director Kash Patel is now on his way to Utah, and there he's expected to host a joint press conference with law enforcement, so we'll be keeping an eye out for that. This shooting is just yet another example of the escalation of political violence here in our country. Jenna Webster joins us now live in studio. Earlier today, she talked with a political scientist who fears that this is something, unfortunately, that we're going to continue to see in our country.
Yeah, and there's a number coming from a researcher at the University of Maryland, and that's 150. That's the number of politically motivated attacks in the U.S. from the first 6 months of this year. And that number is nearly twice as many over that same time period from the year before. And it's not just from the left, right, or fringe groups, he says.
I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination.
Political assassination, political violence. Words it feels we hear more and more.
It really isn't relegated to a periodic, infrequent, happens once in a lifetime kind of event. Instead, it feels that it's becoming all too frequent for us right now.
Laura Wilson is a political science professor at UND. In the last 14 months, we've seen 2 assassination attempts on Donald Trump, 2 Minnesota lawmakers shot in their homes, a fire set at the Pennsylvania governor's house, gunfire sprayed at the CDC headquarters, and 2 Israeli embassy employees killed in D.C.
And it speaks, unfortunately, to the kind of political dynamics and culture that we're experiencing right now.
Dr. Wilson points to divisive rhetoric and misinformation. Just go on any social media platform and you'll see it.
The discourse has become so polarized and so filled with tension that in one hand, I don't think it's surprising that it leads to violence, because we can't agree to disagree. And we look at the other side ideologically or partisan-wise as being truly evil, as being truly opposite and against us.
This escalation has serious consequences, she says. It both undermines our First Amendment freedom of speech and creates fear.
It actually disenfranchises people. It turns people off from the system.
The assassination of Charlie Kirk brings up conversations about if these acts are becoming so normal, where do we go from here?
Quite frankly, it's become so pervasive that I think we have to have a conversation about what kind of security measures, what kind of protective measures and processes we have in case of emergencies. It feels like the tension only gets higher. The stakes get higher with every increasing tragedy. And that's probably the most unfortunate thing. I don't think things will change, at least immediately in the near future.
So now the big reason Wilson sees this as a continuing problem is because when events like this happen, for as many people as they're out there condemning it, there are also people out there that are celebrating, applauding it. And it was actually something she said that her teenage son was seeing a lot on TikTok last night, which was just a whole other conversation they had to have mother to son about it.